You know that his mantra is people's first. I mean, always people first. When you have silently witnessed the controversial and critical political and religious issues which overshadowed the social harmony of the society and the life of Kerala, is there any occasion that you believe, if I were there, I could have been changed something? Is there any occasion that you remember? There are so many occasions, maybe.
Yeah, there are occasions, but basically you had earlier said that Rome was not built in a day.
That's right.
So sometimes aberrations do take place. Human beings are like that. There is no reason to feel desperate, or there is no reason to lose hope, as long as earth is human.
Yes.
But as long as the society displays the capability to correct the wrong, there is no need to feel desperate. There's no need to feel.
There is always
controversy. Something or other will be there, but then they should be taken in your stride.
As the chancellor of the higher education system, you have a dream concept of providing quality education, providing wisdom to the new generation. Do you mind sharing that thoughts?
Well, higher education, sometimes you feel disappointed. Why? Because Kerala has this great tradition. And when I see a student from Kerala going to some other place for higher studies, or preferring institutions outside Kerala to pursue higher studies, then I feel disappointed. And I feel that because of the historic background, because of this great tradition which Kerala has established, I hope to see the day when students from other states will come to Kerala to pursue higher studies.
Hope that day will come soon.
I am sure at the moment what has happened, that I'm telling, sometimes I've said it lightly, that I want the universities to emulate the school system, which is praised everywhere. Kerala school system is praised by all experts of the education, but we need improvement. Not that a situation may come where any time a situation can come when no further improvement will be needed. No, that situation will never come. But
there is always
scope, room for improvement.
Yes,
for improvement. But we should compare favorably with the best institutions in the country.
Thank you. Looking for that moment. Is there any painful incident that you can recollect during your tenure in Kerala? Anything that still have a small pain in your heart?
My experience in Kerala has been so full of joy.
Okay.
And it has been a real pleasure to serve here. So I would say, even if something happened here or there, some small incident, that way it does not really bother me.
Happy-go-lucky, but to do the best.
Taking advantage of this question which you have asked,
yes,
I will say, not addressed to any particular person or group,
understand
that we should be as civilized human beings.
It's supposed to be.
As civilized human beings, and civilization people will more. A society is educated, more people will expect civilized behavior.
Exactly.
Civilized behavior demands that we should be ready to listen to the counter viewpoint. We should never.
You're absolutely right. The civilized society should demand to listen to the counter demand.
Yes, we should be ready to listen to the viewpoint which is different from ours.
There is always agree to disagree as well.
We can always agree. So again, not with an injured feeling, because there was one occasion when people there was a literary festival in Calicut, and the organizers had to cancel the program because of threats by some groups. So I felt sorry. Why?
Little sad.
Little sad. Why? Because at least from educated people, this kind of behavior is not acceptable. That they refuse, anybody, any individual or any group, they refuse to listen to a viewpoint which is different from theirs. So I hope that we will realize that this kind of behavior is not in accordance with the requirements of a civilized society, educated society.
It was approved only 15 minutes. Can we go for 2 more questions? Okay. What is your social observation about gender issues in Kerala? Is there anything that you think we need drastic change?
First thing, there is, in social matters, nothing drastic works. Drastic doesn't work. Doesn't. I always tell that we have a festival which is celebrated all over India. It is called Sankranti.
Sankranti.
Yes. Now this is a word, substitute you would hardly find in any language.
That's very true. Very true.
Sankranti. What is Sankranti? So the Indian concept is change becomes durable.
Change becomes durable
when it comes in a manner where you don't feel the change coming.
That's right.
Only highly educated or trained people can make the difference on 14th or 15th of January that now the sun has moved into the other hemisphere.
That's right.
Ordinary man cannot. India celebrates it. So all these changes which you are talking about, it should be gradually, slowly.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Particularly in social matters. And whenever I have an opportunity to speak outside Kerala, and fortunately I have too many opportunities, and this issue is discussed, I always tell them, I said, come together. See on the road, just any ordinary lady walking on stand there and watch her. The confidence which she exhibits. So I said, this is not just merely dressing the window, doing one thing or the other. So many things they contribute in building the mindset of people.
Yeah. And change is the only thing constant in life.
Change is the only thing which is constant.
That's right. That's right. In that context, this is a crucial Indian political era where the religion is linked with political decisions since BJP has been ruling the country. That is what, an allegation or, the thought pattern. You being considered as a secular national Muslim, do you believe that you have more responsibility to bridge the gaps between those?
This is here I would say that
there is nothing to...
No, absolutely nothing to worry. But I want to give a detailed answer to this. What is secularism for India? Secularism, the definition and attitude towards secularism differs from country to country.
Absolutely.
UK is a secular country.
Yes.
But the head of the state is also head of the church.
Yes.
So religion does not prevent United Kingdom from acting in a manner where despite the fact that the head of the state is the head of the church as well, but it does not stop the government of UK to deal with each one of their citizens or any person there to treat them equally. France is also a secular country.
That's right.
But they make it, they are very particular that the distinction between religion and the state should be felt.
Yes.
Their attitude is different,
Yes.
but the ultimate outcome is the same.
Yes.
They treat everybody enjoys same rights, equal protection of the law, and equality before the law. Likewise, many other Western countries, and finally you go to the USA, where people are they have great interest in religion, but the country is secular. So India, if you look at it, India is one of the most ancient civilization which is continuous. And this civilization, I am not saying this to criticize anybody, no. But the fact remains that people from outside came and they ruled over us.
Fact of the matter.
The fact remains. Yeah. Now these people, for them, the mark of identity of an individual or of a society is the religious faith of that person or that society. So what happened? By that time, before that time, the people who subscribed to the Semitic religions, the Jews came to India in the year when the Temple of Solomon was destroyed. They came to Kerala. Christians came to India, again Kerala, in the 1st century itself. And this has not been mentioned widely, but the fact remains.
It was not acknowledged, rather.
No, the other thing which I'm telling you.
Okay.
We only know that Muslims came as many of the Muslims in South India, they came as traders. In North India, they came as invaders. So this is the general impression in the minds. But the fact remains that after Karbala is the time when the family, the descendants of the Holy Prophet, were butchered in the field of Karbala. And the establishment, whatever, it was not, the concept of a state was not there at that time. Either it were tribal societies or empires. And Muslims by that time had almost become an empire because they had demolished Byzantine Empire and Sassanid Empire both before Karbala. So they had already become an empire. After Karbala, people belonging to this family, they again started facing very active persecution. And most of them, they also found shelter in India. And that is why in India, right from Kerala to Uttar Pradesh, you will find families in every city who claim to be descendants who claim to belong to the same tribe as Holy Prophet himself, or his own descendants. Whereas in the whole Arab world, there are only 3 or 4 families who claim to be descendants of the Holy Prophet. So why India has all these descendants of the Holy Prophet? Because they were being persecuted there. And they also, like Jews, like Parsis, they also found this is the land which has always given shelter to the persecuted of the world.
You're absolutely right.
They came here. Now, but when these rulers came, the only way they could define somebody was through his religious faith. Whereas in India, religious faith was only a small part of the culture. There is no prescription here like the Semitic religion. This is the only way to salvation.
Yes.
No insistence. Swami Vivekananda, famous speech at Chicago. Ruchi naam vaichitriya dirju kutil nana par jusham nirnam eko ganyastomsi. Paisa marnavi. We start our day with this prayer. Oh God, like the springs, rivers, rivulets, they originate from their sources and ultimately merge into the sea. Likewise, we human beings, depending on our nature, we take different paths, state of crooked, but ultimately merge into the... So, no, India, we had no concept of prescription. Indian tradition is highly meditative, it is highly speculative, it is highly reflective, it is not prescriptive. Even if you deny everything, even then, you are not expelled from the fold. So the problem happened that first, the name Sanatan was substituted by Hindu word. And Hindu was used to, not to define a culture, but to mean a religious faith. And then, unfortunately, by and large people, because they were not educated, they accepted this definition. But the thought leaders did not accept this definition. And the very powerful example comes from the Constituent Assembly. Where, yes, Article 25, for the purposes of social reform, our Constituent Assembly, they showed enough courage to include Jains, Buddhists and Sikhs in the definition of Hindu. So what was the message? The message was that Hindu does not mean, or in Hindu, under Hindu, diversity of religious faith is also permitted. There is room for it.
Absolutely.
So this is not actually a religion. This is a way of life, a culture of which religious faith is also a part, but
it's not the complete part.
No, this is
the small part.
But individual is free to pursue his spiritual quest in a manner which is in accordance with his own genius. Once India believes that even in matters spiritual, one size of coat cannot fit everybody. The guru of Swami Vivekananda, Paramhans, has gone to the extent of saying Yat Mat Tat Pat. I mean, there are as many religions as there are individuals. So, where the problem arises, the question is whether you are using this word to describe a way of life, or you are using this word to describe a religious faith. I think it is not the question. Secularism is nowhere. India secularism cannot be in danger. Why? Because the acceptance and respect for diversity is so deeply rooted that it can never come under threat. The problem is that of perception. For some people, it has become a parallel religion. Therefore, if you quote anything, if you refer to anything, they say that one particular religion is being... No, this is not religion. This is a way of life.
Yes.
Therefore, this distinction must be made, and to further give strength to my argument, I would like to tell you that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who described himself as an agnostic, it was during, he publicly said, he wrote that he is an agnostic. But the motto of every national institution which was adopted when he was the Prime Minister, I have collected 108 of them. They all come phrases either from Veda or from Upanishads. So when he did it because of any communal consideration, or he did it because he thought that these are the storehouses of wisdom and he took phrases from them. That is, it's only a question of perception. If you view this thing, everything as just one of the religions, then you will find communalism in it. Yes. But if you view this as a culture, as a way of life, even Indonesia, which is more than 98-99% Muslim population, I was looking at their mottos. Almost all of them, they come from phrases from Vedas or from Upanishad. So are they doing it for communal reasons? No. They are doing it because they feel that these books are a storehouse of wisdom.
That is so, enlightening.